Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce welcoming you along to this W3L Network Special Edition of our Fight For Life event, and Craig Stevens wasting no time. He might be so going right at it here. It is December the 9th. We're at the Miners Club in Dalkeith, and Craig Stevens taking a bad landing. Mike Musso falls out with the splash, immediately going for a cover, but Craig Stevens not done yet. Of course, we are here to raise money for the Samaritans, raise awareness for what they do, and dedicate the entire event to the memory of the late Edward Harris. He's a man who was friends with Mike Musso. The two of them were part of W3L way back in the early days. Edward Harris known as Matt Skills, and he sadly took his own life last year, and it was a thing that affected Musso especially, but everybody in W3L, as he launched himself at Craig Stevens there. So this event is in his memory. It took a while to get all the pieces in place to get W3L management okay to do it. Had of course to speak to Edward Harris's family. Then we had to decide which charity we would show support for. It was eventually decided it would be the Samaritans, and so it's all led today on the 9th of December to Fight For Life. As Mike Musso gets cut off for that uppercut, took a bit too long, and a side kick. Craig Stevens immediately in for the cover here, not wasting any time. He started at a high velocity and he's trying to continue that as well, looks like. So it's an emotionally charged day for Mike Musso. Obviously his event is dedicated to his friend. He doesn't want to be going down with a loss. His mind has been slightly on other things, it has to be said. I don't think he's been 100% focused like he normally is. That's perhaps understandable in the circumstances. That's the clothesline. There's the hip toss, and Musso going for a cover, turning out this one up early. And Mike Musso, not only is he obviously have other things on his mind here today, but last night he was up in Elgin where he had to face the Bulgarian Baker in a tables match. He's dropped that back suplex. Oh, cover. Craig Stevens going straight for a fall again. So Musso had a tough match and then had to drive not just a long way up to him, but a long way down. And because he got back in the wee small hours, and it's now Sunday afternoon here, so he's not had a lot of sleep as Mike Musso. Craig Stevens wasn't there yesterday, he's fully rested, and that's probably what has aided him in getting the better of Mike Musso at this juncture in the match. Also doesn't help that Stevens' family are at ringside, and he had some choice words for them, as he has to the entire crowd. As you can see, not popular. And when he came out, covers again, putting a forearm across Mike Musso's face and to hold him down. Craig Stevens has looked so impressive since returning to W3L at 7 Deadly Sins back in May, reaching the semi-finals of the tournament, where he lost to bench winner Johnny Lyons. And then just last month on Wrestling Showdown, he faced Johnny Lyons for the Heavyweight Championship. A championship the Lyons won from Mike Musso, who crashes down at the corner there, clutching at his back as he does so. See Stevens, every opportunity to go for a pin, that's exactly what he does. And Stevens nearly got the heavyweight title away from Johnny Lyons, man who will be seeing defending that same championship later. That's twice now for Musso. Lyons had to end up spiking Stevens right on his head to get the victory, but that hasn't slowed him down. Craig Stevens has looked very impressive this year in W3L, and 2019 looks like it's going to be even better for him. He's got pretty much all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle, just hasn't quite put them together yet. When he does, he's going to be unstoppable. But today he's got to get past Mike Musso, as he says he's going to hit a superplex. Now, it's not particularly high ceiling, and Musso's a tall man, so I'm not really sure he's going to be able to manage it. But if anybody can, it's Craig Stevens. He is physically really powerful. He's in great shape as well, as you can see. Musso holding on, there's those veteran instincts. A couple of jabs to the kidneys, and a much bigger jab to the face of Craig Stevens. Musso setting him up, and sails through the air with a flying clothesline. Immediately goes out for a cover though. Mike Musso needing to focus on Craig Stevens. if only so that a victory might propel him back towards the heavyweight title that he lost to Johnny Lyons back at Resolution in September. He's gone for the elbow. One of Musso's favourites, and didn't land it very well. Stevens got out the way. Also again, I think the trajectory wasn't quite right, thanks to the lower ceiling. Stevens just mocking Musso, but lands a beautiful leg drop, and a cover again, which just gains him a count of 2. I don't think I've ever seen Craig Stevens use a leg drop off the middle rope. Just goes to show you that he's willing to keep trying new things, add different things to his arsenal, and I think he took Musso somewhat unawares with that. Oh, Musso's grabbed him with that fisherman suplex. He's got him hooked up, but Craig Stevens kicking out. He's just slightly fresh to the two men. Musso off the ropes and exploded through him with the clothesline. Mike Musso's not going to have a loss on this event of all events, and if he does get beaten, as now he lands the elbow, it's going to take a huge effort. Craig Stevens took the elbow right in the point of the chest, but isn't enough to put him down for that extra 1 count that Musso's looking for. He's gained some 2s, now he just needs a 3, because easier said than done. This event, as I've already said, you can see on the screen, raising money for the Samaritans. They do such fantastic work. Founded back in 1953, ladies and gentlemen, with over 200 branches across the UK and the Republic of Ireland. And look at the power of Craig Stevens. Picks Musso up and drops with a running power slam, and immediately hooked the leg right away, and somehow Mike Musso kicked out. He's taken 2 really hard crashes at the turnbuckle, and now he's taking the running power slam. His back is probably, if it hasn't seized up on him, because Musso's had back problems in the past, it's probably throbbing, quite frankly. If you've got a sore back, it's so hard to do anything. Stevens has got him hooked, trying to pick him up, but Musso got the better of him, just lifted it there and dumped him down his face. Oh, and up goes Craig Stevens. Any fan of Mike Musso knows what that is, a precursor to Craig Stevens knows it and gets out. And Musso picks him up and just repositions him across his shoulders. So could be the blunt force trauma? Yes, it is. Craig Stevens goes face first at the canvas. Musso covers, hooks the leg, and scores the pinfall victory.
And here is your winner, Mike Musso!
Mike Musso defeats the original Craig Stevens here at our Fight For Life event. And this is the victory he wanted. It's so important to him. And when Edward Harris sadly took his own life in September of last year, Mike Musso recorded a heartfelt tribute video to him. Let's take you to that right now.
This week's live W3L event, as well as this week's edition of Wrestling Showdown, is being presented in memory of Edward Harris. Long-time W3L fans may remember Ed as Matt Skills, who competed in W3L during the mid-2000s. Ed began his wrestling career training at Jake the Snake Roberts' Snake Pit, alongside myself, Mike Musso, and former W3L stars David Paris and Spike Anderson. As I've thought about Ed this week, amongst the feelings of sadness at his passing, I've found myself smiling as I remember his good nature and unique sense of humour. Ed took a step back from wrestling and pursued a career in comedy under the moniker Ed Surname. Ed put together a movie that was nominated for awards at the Camden Film Festival. I wholeheartedly believe this should have and could have been just the beginning of the world being entertained by Ed's approach to comedy on a wider scale. Our thoughts are with Ed's family and 2 young children, who I know will grow to hear stories of their father's kind nature and sense of humour. Ed will be missed and forever remembered by those that knew him.
Championship is up for grabs, and the challengers run like scared cats. Krieger's grabbed Prince Asad and launches him into the ring. They've been on the floor stalling. They don't seem to want to get back in the ring with Krieger and TJ Rage, the current W3L Tag Team Champions. And considering what happened last time these two teams met, it's hardly a surprise. It was back at Resolution in September. Rage and Krieger challenged Asad and Ali for the Tag Team Championship. As you've probably worked out by now, it was Krieger and Rage that walked away the victors and the new W3L Tag Team Champions. This is Asad and Ali's rematch, and they hope to become 3-time Tag Team Champions, because we've held them twice before. Their first reign, and if you go back and watch the Wrestling Showdown archives, it was the end of July of last year. They won the belts, then lost them at Resolution 11 in last November to no less a tag team with Jody Fleisch and Johnny Storm. And if you're going to be dropping your tag belts, Fleisch and Storm are probably two of the best in the country, quite frankly. Then they did regain them back the end of July this year on Wrestling Showdown. And of course dropped at Resolution to Rage and Krieger. Prince Asad and Saqib Ali under no hurry to get in, to get hold of Krieger and TJ Rage. I guess this is what has made them 2-time Tag Team Champions. They're chicanery, they're cunning. Krieger seems to want to get torn into Saqib Ali, but of course well, Saqib Ali says he's going to shake Krieger's hand. He's a nice man. Shaking the referee's hand. Want to check that, because it's been. And Krieger asking if he should shake Ali's hand. The crowd don't seem to think it's a good idea, but obviously it's up to him. Will he do it? Well, shaking the referee's hand again. So far so good. Then again, the referee is one half of the W3L Tag Team Champions. So I think Krieger's going to do it. Look, a nice handshake. Oh, but Saqib Ali would have to spoil it, kicking Krieger in the midsection. Now here's an interesting piece of trivia for you. Back in October of 2015, we had a triple threat match that saw both Krieger and Saqib Ali make their respective W3L debuts. So both men's first appearance in this company was as opponents, and they've continued that trend. Saqib has been around a lot longer than Krieger here in W3L. It's not quite as long as TJ Rage is out in the apron. He's been appearing in W3L since 2008. Not always with regularity. Now and again he turns up just whenever his schedule allows it. Krieger's got the arm. And the crowd seemed happy with that one. And will come TJ Rage, it looks like. And that's what's going to happen. Most experienced man in this match. The man who trained Krieger. This is the hand certainly in training Asad and Ali amongst a whole host of other wrestlers on the west coast of Scotland. And he is such a physically dominant person as TJ Rage. I don't think there's an ounce of fat on the guy. He's powerful, he's explosive, he's quick as well. He might be the strongest man in W3L. That was a tag. Prince Asad tagged Ali's foot. I don't think that's technically legal, but if he didn't see it anyway, I'm trying to keep him out. It's allowing Saqib Ali just to kind of gain a slight edge over TJ Rage. Now there's a tag. The former champions working like a well-oiled machine. They of course have the tag team edge, as they have teamed up countless times both in W3L and elsewhere. Whereas TJ and Krieger don't team up all that often. Regularly here in W3L, but not so much elsewhere. So you think the challenger's going to have the advantage in this one, we shall see. And TJ Rage, oh, he's got hold of him. He's got the former champs by the head. And this usually means one thing. And that's what it means. Here comes Krieger. Both men going up and raining fists down. The referee would normally be applying a 5 count. You only get 5 seconds to exchange places with your partner after a tag, but he's either intimidated by what's going on, or they're just saying to let these guys go at it, and maybe that's for the best. Fans want to see an action-packed match, and so far we've had that. Again, tag team champions on the line in our next match. The heavyweight title up for grabs. Oh, hang on! I don't see though. And the champions firmly in control here. Oh, inverted atomic drops. That's never a pleasant landing, is it? Both challenge have the same idea. And regular atomic drops, they bump into each other as well. Well, this should be a short one, I think. The champs are having their way here with their challengers. And oh, Saqib Ali launched into his own tag team partner. Oh, here comes the freight train, the size of TJ Rage. And just to add insult to injury, avalanching Saqib Ali, who's flat on his back. Prince Asad, he's on rubber leg street. With an assist from Krieger. Prince Asad, his head landing in, well, you can see for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. And Saqib Ali's voice is going to be 4 octaves higher now. And Asad's hair will be messed up, he won't like that. And Krieger's grabbed TJ. Have the Bushwhackers arrived? That's exactly what I think they're going to go for, no battering ram. Oh, right into Prince Asad's rear quarters. I hope TJ Rage gets a flannel and is able to wipe it off his head, because I mean, with the guy, don't let me put my face there, if you know what I'm saying. And the former champions, Prince Asad and Saqib Ali, I mean, they've been great tag team champions in the past, but this is not going their way at all. Having an off day, it looks like. Krieger's got something in mind, and the crowd are on his side completely. Here he comes. I went for a sliding drop kick, both men moved. Saqib charged it, and they run into each other again. This has been a staple of this match so far. Asad and Ali just cannot get on the same page. Asad has been isolated, it looks like. It'll be interesting to see what happens. As Prince Asad kicking the rope, surely a warning from the referee there. In 2019, as it pertains to the tag team division, who's going to walk away as the champs and who will step up to face them in the new year in W3L? Only time is going to tell. And now Asad choking choking Krieger, trying to distract the referee in the process. Didn't really work. And now, slugged TJ has no effect. TJ's been around for so long, it takes a lot to anger him, because he knows all the tactics, he knows what's happening. Look at this. As he is trying to be restrained by the referee, Krieger's getting double teamed. And Saqib slaps his hands, so the referee, in the back of his mind, has heard a tag. But again, TJ's seen all these tricks, he's pulled a lot of them himself in the past, back in his tag team days. So he knows everything that Asad and Ali are going to do as pertains to cheating as a tag team. It takes a lot to pull the wool over his eyes. It didn't take a lot to get a 2 count over Krieger there. Saqib Ali with that chin lock. Well, he's got hold of him. Let me remind you that we are raising money for the Samaritans here at Fight For Life. They respond to a telephone call every 6 seconds, and they are available 24 hours a day. If you ever need anyone to talk to, they are only a phone call away. Of course, you can contact them online. Details are on the screen. Please do not suffer in silence. They've made it their mission to alleviate emotional distress and reduce the incidence of suicidal feelings and suicidal behaviour. So again, if you are struggling to cope with life in general and you want somebody just to talk to, you want somebody to listen, please get in touch with Samaritans. They're always there and they do such fantastic work That's why W3L is happy to raise money for them and support them here at Fight For Life. Right now we have the Tag Team Championship on the line. Krieger has not had the match go his way. It was all in the favour of the champions, but the challengers have turned it around and Krieger needs to make a tag. And he reverses the vertical suplex. I think he was somewhat biding his time, just let Saqib Ali position where he needed him, and before Saqib could attempt the suplex, Krieger reversed it. But how much has he got left in him? I think that's taken what little energy he built up in his reserves, because he's just lying there trying to gain some much needed oxygen back into his lungs. TG Rage bagging that turnbuckle back and finally gets the tag. This is what he wanted. And those huge hands, a couple of frozen hams. That's the fist of TG Rage, just slugging away at Prince Asad, and greets with a huge boot to the face. Beautifully done. We saw Craig Stevens pick up Mike Musso with these earlier. TG Rage is exactly the same to Prince Asad and just kicks arms at position and removes the elbow pad. And he lands the most electrifying leg drop in all of W3L. And Asad ends up being elbow dropped by his own partner. TG saw Saqib Ali coming and moved out the way. And now he's grabbed the ref, but for what purpose? Because his partner can't do anything. Oh, and Prince Asad with that low blow to TG Rage. Super kick from Saqib Ali and down goes TJ. Asad in for the cover here. This could wrap it up, but TJ pounding out. He took a low blow and a super kick, still kicked out. Asad Ali cannot believe that. Krieger's rolled back into the ring. Don't know how effective he's going to be. He's taken a bit of a beating so far, but they managed to find a way to slow down the big man. And Asad struggling to pick TJ up. It's a lot of humanity to muscle around if he doesn't want to move. And he's got him pinned back, got his arms pinned. Another super kick it looks like, but wait, forgot about Krieger. And he hits the floor, bounces off the stage. In comes Asad, oh, super kick. And a spear from TG Rage cuts Prince Asad in half. And they both go for cover, they stack him up, and they gain the victory.
And here's your winners, and still the W3L Tag Team Champion, TG Rage and Krieger.
So a popular victory as the champions retain their title over, let's be honest, some spirited challengers and the former two-time tag team champions. And they're calling in the two young gentlemen they got to keep hold of those tag team belts during this contest, bring them in the ring. A great tag team victory by the W3L Tag Team Champions TG Rage and Krieger.
Standing in the corner to my right, it is the opponent. This is the very good Mr. Euan G. Mackie. Standing in my left corner, he is your W3L World Heavyweight Champion. This is the Tenacious Johnny Lion.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Rosie Knight doing a fine job there of introducing the participants for our main event here at Fight For Life. This is Joe Fordyce bringing you your W3L Heavyweight Championship match. The very good Mr. Euan G. Mackie, a man no stranger to any fan of W3L, taking on the current reigning and defending W3L Heavyweight Champion, Tenacious Johnny Lyons. And Lyons, of course, won the title from Mike Musso back at Resolution in September, finally achieving his career-long goal to raise the heavyweight title. And he wants to continue his reign. He's looked at the likes of Musso himself, the likes of Joey Legend, Nathan Reynolds, men who have had incredibly long and successful heavyweight title reigns. And Johnny Lyons wants the same thing. He wants to be seen as one of the greats in the W3L heavyweight division. And of course, getting past the very good Mr. Euan Mackie and stretching his reign into 2019 and beyond will be a fantastic way of doing that. Mackie just taking his time and locking up there, just being a bit reluctant, but of course, if you see Mackie before, you'll know that this is just him trying to outthink his opponent. Lyons, the much more powerful of the two, as you can see, where he transitioned smoothly in that waist lock and throws Mackie there with ease. Mackie's no slouch to the power department by any means, don't get me wrong, he's a very strong person, may lack a bit of height, a bit of mass, but he's as powerful as they come. Lyons just out-wrestling him here in the early going, doesn't trap that chin lock. Mackie smoothly getting out of it and takes the side headlock. If you thought Mackie didn't know how to wrestle, if he was just histrionics and hitting people with a shovel, he has just proven you wrong. This crowd on the side of tenacious Johnny Lyons, understandably so. As I mentioned earlier on during our event, he faced the original Craig Stevens in November on Wrestling Showdown, the heavyweight title up for grabs. A tremendous contest, Lyons had all he could handle and more besides, but in the end he hit the line cutter, dropping Craig Stevens on his head to get the victory. Don't know if they necessarily need to do that to the very good Mr. Euan Mackie today, but you never know. And Lyons just throws him down. This is where Mackie's at a slight disadvantage. He doesn't have a lot of body weight. He's only 160 pounds compared to Lyons' 230 pounds. So giving up a bit of size, it means that Lyons can kind of throw him around quite easily. And this is where Mackie lacks, but his speed is unparalleled. Such a swift-footed person, and he's probably got the greatest mind in all of W3L as it pertains to what to do in the ring and the chicanery they're in. And he just slugged Lyons, who just nods to say, okay, well done, you got a shot at me. And now Lyons retaliating. Shit gets reversed. And Lyons, there's the agility. He's not just muscle, not just power. And over the ropes, rolling across Mackie, ducks on that clothesline and throws himself into a clothesline of his own, which just takes a moment or two before covering Mackie, and that leads to the count of 2. Mackie is a former tag team champion. It's ironic to think that he used to be one of the most popular tag team champions in W3L history ever. He was part of the Disco Biscuits. Well, Lyons on the apron as well. Mackie thinks he'd outsmarted him, but he hasn't. Oh, Lyons has caught him again and drops him down. Bad landing for Mackie. Lyons also a former W3L Tag Team champion. He's held it twice. When he made his W3L debut, which was back in 2006, and actually the start of his career, he was tag team champion in 6 months. It's pretty impressive considering he'd had about 6 months of experience and was already holding a championship. He may not be holding the heavyweight title for much longer though. Mackie's knocked him to the floor. I mean, it's solid wood out there, as you can see. All around you've got chairs and tables. There's metal, there's wood, there's glass. They've vanished out of our camera range unfortunately, but they are fighting. Oh, there they are. All it needs is somebody to land the wrong way. Let's see, Mackie's going to use a drinks can. I you might think that's only a little break, but they have a sharp edge to lacerate Johnny Lyons. Mackie's got him down. They're bombarding him with bits of rubbish. And Lyons is lifting him up and dumps him on a table at ringside. Let's hope nobody's drink got spilled there. Mackie immediately away. Lyons giving chase. So they've gone round the building. And right in the wall, they're right up beside the bar. Don't know whose round it is. Rosie Knight hovering around, maybe she's hoping for a free drink. Mackie wandering back towards the ring. Of course he cannot defeat Lyons on the floor. Lyons giving him a seat. Just slugs away some forearms. And just backs off a bit. And nails Mackie. Didn't realise it was a reclining chair. Lyons needs to throw Mackie at the ring. And Lyons wants to do that to prove the type of champion he is. He could get a counter victory, but it's not really the kind of thing he would do. He wants to earn it. He wants to prove he's deserving of being the champion. He's a worthy heavyweight champion. Mackie launches himself at Lyons, who catches him with ease. Then there's a lack of body weight. And Lyons picks him up at the vertical suplex and then drops him on the ring apron. And Mackie's back is going to be aching. The crowd loved that one. Mackie, however, did not. That's going to hamper his chance to become the new heavyweight champion. Yeah, title he's never held. He's challenged for it before a few times. Never held it though. And can you imagine if the very good Mr. Euan Mackie got hold of the heavyweight championship, how he could reshape W3L in his image. I don't see why painting the ropes black and green. But the chaos he would create by being the #1 wrestler in the Worldwide Wrestling League. And it's a possibility. Every time he challenges for a title, it's a possibility. And down goes Johnny Lyons. Swinging DDT. Hang on, Mackie going for a cover. This could end it. Johnny Lyons landing head first to the back of that DDT. It's a great thing about Mackie. No matter what you do to him, he always finds a way to fire back. He always finds a way to get a couple of shots and then turn the tide in his favour. This was back at Resolution 12 in September. We saw him taking on Kevin Burns in a nursery crimes match, which, if you saw that, you notice how brutal that was. Mackie had a couple of uncomfortable landings during that contest. In October, in Wrestling Showdown, he beat Bram, which was just a tremendous contest. And you might have thought, well, Bram would steamroll over him. He's been on TV and everything, but no. Mackie gave Bram more than he could take. Just at the start of this month, in Wrestling Showdown, we saw the very good Mr. Euan Mackie taking Looking Sharp. The match ending when Mackie DDT'd Looking Sharp on the ring apron so hard, ended up breaking the ring where the rope snapped. And speaking of snapping, something we have gone inside Johnny Lyons' midsection as Mackie's nailed him with his knees, the breakfast launcher he calls it. Because of course when he hits you with it, what you've got inside your stomach comes back up, whether you like it or not. Johnny Lyons down, holding him there, because of course if he can prevent air getting into Johnny Lyons' lungs, it's going to make Lyons so much more difficult to generate some offense against Mackie. Comes off the ropes. Mackie comes after him and hits with a calf kick. And Mackie goes for a cover again. Knows the importance, much like Craig Stevens in our opening contest, he knows the importance of not waiting around to try and get a pinfall attempt. He just takes 3 slaps in the mat, so you may as well go for it right away. And there's a leg drop. No one does it quite like the very good Mr. Euan Mackie. But not quite enough to put Johnny Lyons away. And Mackie again, back to that chin lock. Almost like a sleeper hold. He leans forward as well. So Johnny Lyons' neck is bent forward, meaning that he's somewhat creased his throat and the passage of air into his lungs. So it makes it a bit harder to get that in. Plus, if Lyons wants to try and stand, he's got to move his head back to try and lift Mackie's body weight. And 160 pounds may not be especially heavy in wrestling terms, but in real terms, it's a fair bit of weight. And Johnny Lyons didn't know where Mackie was, and then Mackie invited up the Doom Waltz. And this may well be it, but Mackie slapping the mat as he went along. Perhaps his ego got a little of better from there. If he'd covered Lyons better, who knows what might have happened. Mackie arguing with the crowd as usual. something he does quite a lot of. And now he's got Lyons down and is now sitting astride his back. So again, if Lyons stands, he's got to lift all of Mackie's body weight as well as his own, and Lyons is already tired and already sore, already beaten up and hunted down. So again, to see he's got to lift Mackie as well. No easy prospect. Lyons runs out the turnbuckles. Mackie broke, but I think he'll just to reposition himself and follows Lyons in, who follows Mackie in. Where's Lyons getting this from? He's proved to be resilient. I mean, he's not called tenacious for no reason. Well, here we go. And the very good Mr. Euan Mackie landed the leg drop earlier on. Lyons retaliates on one of his own, but Mackie not worn down enough as of yet. Face first at the canvas with Mackie. It's going to turn things in Lyons' favour. If he can get past the very good Mr. Euan Mackie, he's got a good chance of ending 2018 still as heavyweight champion. One thing Lyons wants to do, he spent so long in his W3L career trying to be the heavyweight champion. He was a fairly bad person, as to be said. The crowd didn't really like him. And he lands a tenacious gun. And Mackie, that's now twice in quick succession, he's been leg dropped head first in the canvas. And somehow he gets out of that one. But it took earlier this year when Lyons perhaps began to see the error of his ways. The crowd began to take to him. That's what it took. He won 7 deadly sins, marshalling into restitution to face Mike Musso, hang on, cover him again. And then Lyons overcame the merchandise to become the new heavyweight champion. Popular victory it was. The crowd in Glen Rothes were so happy to see Johnny Lyons finally achieve the goal he'd set himself to become heavyweight champion. And since then he's been willing to take on all challengers, all comers, and defend that belt at every opportunity. He rolls through the ropes with the line car. Mackie knows what's coming now. He's going for the Misty Flip and lands it. He's so quick, has that vice-like grip, covers, and somehow Johnny Lyons got out of it. That was so close though. Mackie grabbed him, and because he's got such great tendon strength, with a lot of that pole fitness, he's holding himself up. Sometimes just one arm horizontally, things that most bodies just cannot do. Grabbed Lyons, went up with the Misty Flip, straight for the cover as well. Mackie's got him primed. What's going to go for here? Comes in, Quesadora, tries to turn it round. Lyons has got him. Couple of shots to midsection, repositions him, hooks him, lifts him at the air, cradle DDT, drops him down. Mackie lying there, covered, leg is hooked, and yet again, just before the fateful 3 count, he gets that shoulder off the canvas. Lyons cannot believe it. He countered over Mackie, who's going for that front guillotine perhaps. Repositioned him, converted him with the cradle DDT. Mackie's still kicking out. Lyons though, he'll keep at it, he will go until he's got nothing left. Line cutter again, but Mackie managed to push away, didn't really take it, and Lyons was one that landed heavily and now caught that rear naked choke. Mackie with those arms around the neck of Johnny Lyons and may end up being slipping into a choke if he's not careful. The legs wrapped around Lyons midsection. Every time he breathes, Mackie applies a tighter grip, making it hard to get air in his lungs. But Mackie repositioned himself. Lyons got up and he holds on like a limpet. Those legs are not for moving. He's hooked onto Lyons, who's fading, and rams out the turnbuckle. And Mackie trying to hold on for all his worth. Lyons manages to break the grip, and Mackie hooks him again. Very good Mr. Euan Mackie knows what he's going for. He's got a game plan. Lyons firing it with elbows, and he's got a hold of him. Certainly not. Line cutter off the middle. Oh, I can't believe he did that. He pulls down Mackie with line cutter and scores the pinfall victory. So tenacious Johnny Lyons scores a big victory over the very good Mr. Euan Mackie and retains the heavyweight championship. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. To find out more about just how much money we raised, check us out online, and we will see you next time.